All right, we're just gonna get straight into this build. So I'm starting off at the bandsaw and I am resawing some 2-inch thick walnut into 2 pieces that are about 1 inch thick. And then over at the planer, I'm gonna bring it down to 3/4 of an inch. Then I let my robot do its thing and cut the side pieces and the scoring board slot thing, I don't know what you wanna call that, and it cut the back piece. This CNC has been a great addition to my shop. I just love it. The best part is it cleans up after itself and it puts its tools away. And so that I could say I made this using hand tools, I used my Japanese pole saw to cut the tabs that were left behind from the CNC router. I used my Orbital sander to sand down the tabs. I could have used a flush trim bit in my router to do this, but I just love sanding and I like to take every opportunity I can get to sand. I then dry fit it together to make sure my dados were the correct size, and this also gave me the opportunity to take a measurement so that I can get the right length for the back piece. For the joinery, I decided to do a 45-degree miter. You could do box joints or a dovetail if you really wanted to, or even just a butt joint, but I chose to go for a miter joint. After cutting the miters, I clamped it back together and I test fitted my joinery. And I am happy to say that it worked on the first try. Then I was able to get a measurement and cut the pieces for the dividers. I cut the middle divider shorter than the 2 outside ones so that I could cut a dado in them for a piece of plywood to slide in for a lid. To join the dividers to the front and the back piece, I am just going to use some dominoes. Now if you don't have a domino, you could use dowels to do this and it would be just fine. Now it was at this point where I realized I made a mistake. I used my wrong lines for cutting the dominoes into the back piece. So I filled them in with some dominoes, let the glue dried, and I trimmed them off and I cut them again. The domino holes were only off by 1/2 centimeter, which is okay because the divider will cover my boo-boo. I am also adding dominoes to the miter joints to help reinforce them. And then it was time to dry fit this all together to make sure that it all fits. This also gave me the opportunity to get a measurement for the bottom panel, which I clumsily cut on the table saw. I then cut the bottom on my miter saw and it was a little bit too wide, so I did a little whoop-de-doo and it was cut. After I cut the bottom, it was time to dry fit it all together. And this bottom panel was giving me a bit of a hard time trying to get it into the dado on the side pieces. It turns out that I cut the dado a little bit too tight on the CNC. After a long battle putting this together, I realized I made a mistake and I cut the bottom 1/8 of an inch too wide, which was not allowing for my joints to close up. So I trimmed it down and it went together way easier the second time. To hide the plywood edge and add some rigidness to it, I created this little trim molding that I will glue on. After admiring my work for about 2 seconds and giving it the thumbs up, I knocked it all apart and gave it an 1/8 of an inch round over. A 1/8 round over is my go-to. Any more than that and it kind of starts to look like it's a Boy Scouts project. And for some reason I decided to lay out all these pieces and do this little panning shot for you guys. And then I stood there and stared at it, trying to work up the courage to glue this all together. This glue up was pretty stressful as it all had to be put together at once. It wasn't like a table or like a dresser or something like that where you could just kind of glue things together in certain steps and then put it all together to make the final piece. This had to be done all at once. What do you guys think of my bright green shirt? My wife doesn't like it. And really, you know, if your wife doesn't like what you're wearing, are you even married? I let the glue dry overnight and then in the morning I took the clamps off. I then flipped it over and I used some screws to attach the bottom to the dividers. I didn't want to glue this in the glue up because it would just been way too much and I don't think I could have handled it. Now it was time to spray on the finish and yeah, that is a stir stick made from walnut. Spraying the finish on is the way to go on a project like this as there's lots of little nooks and crannies to get into. If you've never sprayed finish before, I highly recommend trying it. It is the way to go. It is way easier and quicker than brushing. Plus, you don't have to clean out a brush when you're done. The paint gun is way easier to clean out. Now it is time to make the pucks. Now I started by cutting some 2-inch dowel on the miter saw into pieces about 5/8 thick. I then scrapped that idea and decided to make the pucks out of maple on the CNC. I then carefully rounded the edges over on my trim router. Now if your name is Karen or Kevin, I don't want to hear about it, just look away. The fact is, woodworking is not safe, so sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. I had the bright idea of trying to dish out the pucks so that it was just the outside edge of the puck that would be rubbing against the board as you slid them down. My thought was there's going to be less friction so they should glide way nicer. So I made this little jig for the CNC. Well, I didn't make it. The CNC made it and then I pounded all the pucks in. It took my CNC 2 hours to dish out 30 pucks on one side. So altogether, to do both sides for 30 pucks, it was a total of 4 hours. I wasn't all that happy with how the pucks turned out. They had this little lip or ring around the outside edge, and I was hoping for that to be flat and smooth. So I had the idea to 2-phase tape them to a piece of melamine and run them through my drum sander just to take off that outside edge. And I ended up getting carried away with the drum sander and I sanded out the dish completely so they were back to just being flat. I wasted 4 hours on the CNC. And look away, Karen and Kevin, I had to round over the edges again. I then hand sanded all 30 pucks and let me tell you, my hands were cramped up by the time I got finished. I did some searching on the internet and I found that you could buy these pucks already dished out and they're about 2 inches in diameter for $50. In my opinion, that is worth it. And I added a mineral oil and beeswax finish to all the pucks. It's finally finished. Now before I tell you guys how to play this game, I'm just gonna show you my mistakes. I know you guys probably want to see mistakes and you might be surprised, but I'm not perfect. So I'm going to show you my mistakes. After doing a test, seeing how they slid with the cove side down versus the flat side, I determined there wasn't much of a difference. And I wasn't all that happy with the cove that the router did, mainly because some of these in the jig I made weren't sitting quite flat and I tried my best to get them flat. So they weren't 100%, and I thought, well, if I put them through the drum sander like you saw, I could sand that flat or sand that little ridge down to try to get rid of it. And that made it look even worse. So I just decided to flatten them out, which means I lost about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Now I was going for like a 1/2 inch thick puck, and now I'm left with 3/8. So that's my first mistake. These mistakes aren't in order of how they occurred. It's just, I'm starting with the obvious. And I didn't really want to cut new pucks and waste material because quite frankly, the game still works with thinner pucks. So it is what it is. And right here, there is 2 mistakes. This first one, that's quite obvious, is I sanded through the veneer. That is a rookie mistake. I was trying to flush up this wood trim that I added, and I got a little too carried away and I sanded through the veneer. And then right here, I didn't get this clamped tight enough. So there's like a 1/16 of an inch gap right, no, maybe not 1/16, a 32nd of an inch gap right here. And the last mistake I made was these outside compartments are bigger than the 2 middle ones. Now that is because these holes should have been spaced out differently. In the front here, this space here, and this, and this, and this one, and that one, they're all the same size. So on the computer, when I designed it, it looked good. But then when you start adding the dividers in the middle, obviously, because these are 1/2 inch thick, I'm losing some width in here because of these pieces here. In my next version that I'll make is I'll space these holes out differently so that the compartments, when I have the dividers in, will all be the exact same size. And aside from those few mistakes, this thing turned out awesome. I love the finish I got on there from spraying it. You just cannot beat a sprayed finish. And it looks awesome. Just let you guys take it all in. Oh yeah. So the way you play this game is you have 30 pucks. Goal is you want to get the even amount of pucks into every single slot. So you just start by sliding them down and trying to get them in. Oh yeah. Oh, I am bad at this. Okay, so that was my first round and I did horribly. So these pucks, you leave in their slots. You take all these pucks back to the start of the board and you go again. Yes. Yes. Ah. All right, that was way better than the first round. And this is what I like to do to determine if pucks are in or not. Take your finger and just swipe it across. And if they pop in, it's considered in. All right, that was a better round. And now for your last turn, pick up the pucks, go again. Then after your third round is over, you tally up your score. And that's where these numbers come into play. Now, if you have 1 in each spot, that is 20 points. I have at least 2 in each, so that's 40 points. And then you take what else you have and you add them up with these numbers. So I am left with 49 points. Now that's a pretty poor score. I like to see you guys make this and try to beat my score. And then when you're all done, you can just load all your pieces up in the 2 middle compartments and slide the lid on so you don't lose your pucks and you can play next time. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you enjoyed seeing my mistakes. That is my New Year's resolution. I want to show more mistakes in my videos. I don't want to make more mistakes, but when they happen, I want to show them to you guys because I kind of felt like I was misleading you guys into thinking I was a good woodworker because in the past videos, I try to hide my mistakes and not show them. And yeah, I just kind of felt like I was fooling you guys into thinking I was a great woodworker when really I'm just kind of mediocre. So, like always, we'll see you in the next one.